Well, hello there, shit. There we go. What's up guys, this is just kind of a little update video. I've been in China for a bit over 2 years, but more precisely, 6 days ago it had been exactly 2 years since I uploaded my first video on this channel. And I thought I'd make a little video to celebrate this anniversary with you guys. I mean, it's been a crazy 2 years, a lot of interesting experiences, amazing trips, great food, and it allowed me to produce and share with you guys about 80 videos on this channel. And that's exactly why I moved to China, and because I wanted to kick myself in the butt, get out of my comfort zone and start producing more of my own creative projects and not only work on other people's projects like I was doing back home. I also wanted to share some thoughts with you and discuss a dilemma I'm currently dealing with. At the end of December will be the end of my lease for this apartment. And based on what happened last year, I'm pretty sure that my evil fucking landlord will raise the price of the rent again ridiculously. And I can't really afford paying much more than what I'm paying right now. So I started thinking about what my options were. And of course, I could just find another apartment in Shanghai and just move there. But if you've watched my Shanghai apartment hunting series, you know that finding a decent apartment, fairly well located and cheap, is nearly impossible. I was really lucky with this one. So I started considering the idea of maybe moving to a different city or a smaller town. From what I've heard, apartments in smaller towns and cities are far cheaper than in Shanghai. A friend of mine lived in a smaller town, and I'm not talking about like a village. There's still like 4 or 5 million people living there, and he's got a 6-bedroom apartment, split it over 2 floors with a super big living room, a nice kitchen, and 2 patios. And he pays the same price I'm paying for this tiny apartment. I mean, the whole apartment is this room and a tiny kitchen across this door. So I started, juggling with the idea that maybe I could try another place in China. Plus, I mean, it would be a change of scenery, meeting new people, maybe improving my Mandarin because there would be less foreigners. I don't know. And then I thought of Shenzhen. I spent a lot of time in Shenzhen over the last year, and I really enjoy this city. So while I was there recently, I thought I'd go meet some YouTubers who live there and ask them if they think it's a good idea to move to Shenzhen and why or why not. So the first YouTuber I went to meet, you guys probably already know him if you watch videos related to China. He's like the veteran vlogger in China. His channel name is SerpentZA, and he's been living in Shenzhen for over 10 years, so he's probably got some good insights.
Yeah, I think you should move to Shenzhen. There are a good couple of reasons. But I'd say number one, it's a young city. And by young, I mean really young. Everything around us, all the buildings are about 30 years old or younger. And it keeps growing all the time. It's modern, the people are young, like literally. I think the average age at the moment is 27. So if you like young people, young city, modern, technological, awesome, fresh, new, Shenzhen's where you want to move.
Well, that was quite a convincing sales pitch. Almost sounds like maybe he was paid by Shenzhen to tell me those things. Anyways, then I went to meet a guy who doesn't really live in Shenzhen, but who spent most of his life between Hong Kong and Dongwon, which are both right next to Shenzhen. He's the ninja vlogger, aka the Snarkyguy.
So I think you should totally move to Shenzhen. Why? Well, for one thing, you're right across the border from Hong Kong, and you can get anything in Hong Kong. And I do mean anything. Also, Shenzhen's got a really cool vibe here. There's a lot more females to males, and if I'm not mistaken, beyond that, there's a lot of cool restaurants here. There's an old Russian aircraft carrier here, and there's some awesome South Korean chicken. So, I'm out.
Ooh, girls. But mostly South Korean chicken. So then I went to meet this other guy named Kodak from the channel I Remember Gaming, who's also been in Shenzhen for a while.
Oh, hey, so I understand you're thinking about moving to Shenzhen. I think that's a good choice. It does kind of depend on what you're looking for in a Chinese city. If you want more of kind of a pure Chinese experience, I might recommend a smaller Chinese city. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. I mean, the women here are beautiful, the nightlife is vibrant, there's a million things to do every day. I recommend Shenzhen. I love it here.
Well, those guys brought some really interesting points. And if you want to know more about them, I suggest you go in the description, you'll find links to their channel. But I feel like they might have been a bit biased because, I mean, after all, they moved there and they decided to stay there for a while, so they must like it to start with. But there were also some other aspects that were not mentioned that I find very interesting about Shenzhen. First of all, the weather is much nicer. It's warm and I love hot weather. It's right next to the ocean and there's a bunch of beautiful beaches around Shenzhen. There's also the fact that around Shenzhen, the nature is very rich. You'll find a lot of hills and little mountains covered by forest and jungles. It's very interesting and quite different from Shanghai, where the surroundings is mostly farming lands, industrial areas and small towns. So for a guy like me who likes to explore and bike around, I think that would be very interesting. So what really makes it a dilemma is the fact that I love Shanghai. I think it's an amazing city. There are so many things to do, so many people to meet. It's huge. It's always changing. I've been here for 2 years and I feel like I haven't seen much of it. And leaving now would feel like unfinished business. Shanghai is also a big international city where there are loads of interesting professional opportunities. So when I put all of this together, it makes it a tough decision and I haven't made up my mind yet. I still have about a month to think about it. I don't know what you guys know about China, Shanghai, Shenzhen, but I'd be curious to know, what would you do if you were me? I know in the end it's gonna be my call and my decision, but it's always interesting to get other people's point of view. So feel free to tell me what you think in the comment section below, and I'll be really happy to, talk about this topic with you. So now I'm just gonna spin myself around while you can click here or there to either subscribe to my channel or watch another video. And I'm gonna get dizzy for free because I'm broke as fuck. And drinks can get quite expensive in Shanghai. Yeah. Oh, fuck.